He told me if anything ever happened to him, I'd be the one to fall apart, not our kids. I remember it like it was yesterday. We were sitting on the porch, watching the sunset over the hills of Willow Creek. He said, "Walter, you're the rock, but I'm the glue that holds you together." I'm Walter, 78 years old, and I want to share with you a lesson I learned from my husband, a lesson that has stayed with me to this day. It's a lesson about the importance of living in the moment, and I'm going to tell you a story that'll show you what I mean. We met back in 1965 in a small town in Ohio where everyone knew each other's names. His name was Jack, and he was the love of my life. We were young, full of life, and full of dreams. We got married, had 2 beautiful kids, and built a life together. But life had its ups and downs, and we faced our fair share of challenges. One of the toughest times was when our son got into a terrible accident, and we thought we were going to lose him. I remember the day like it was yesterday. The doctor came out and told us that our son's chances of survival were slim. Jack and we just fell apart. We were devastated. But here is what I never told anyone. Jack took my hand, and he said, "Walter, we need to be strong for our son. We need to be his rock." And in that moment, something shifted inside me. I felt a sense of purpose, a sense of duty. I knew I had to be strong, not just for our son, but for Jack too. But as time went on, I started to take things for granted. I started to think that Jack would always be there, that he'd always be my rock. And I made a mistake, a painful mistake. I started to push him away. I started to take him for granted. I'd get angry, I'd lash out, and I'd say things that I didn't mean. And Jack, he'd just take it. He'd just absorb it all, like a sponge. But one day, he'd had enough. And he told me that I needed to change, that I needed to start appreciating him more. But here is what I never told anyone. I didn't listen. I didn't change. And it wasn't until he was gone that I realized what I had done. I realized that I had taken him for granted, that I had pushed him away. And it was too late. He was gone, and I was left with the guilt, the regret, and the what-ifs. The lesson I learned from Jack, the lesson that has stayed with me to this day, is that life is short, and we need to appreciate the people we love while they're still with us. We need to tell them how much we love them. We need to show them how much we care. Because when they're gone, it's too late, and all we're left with is regret. And that's what my husband told me. If anything ever happened to him, I'd be the one to fall apart, not our kids. He was right. I did fall apart, but I've been trying to put the pieces back together, and I've been trying to live by the lesson he taught me. I've been trying to appreciate the people I love, while they're still with us. But here is what I never told anyone. It's not easy. It's a daily struggle. There are days when the grief feels like it's going to consume me, days when I feel like I'm drowning in my tears. But I'm trying to stay afloat. I'm trying to keep my head above water. And I want to leave you with this. If you're watching this, and you're still with the people you love, don't take them for granted. Don't push them away. Tell them how much you love them. Show them how much you care. Because when they're gone, it's too late, and all you're left with is regret. So please, don't make the same mistake I did. Appreciate the people you love, while they're still with you. He told me if anything ever happened to him, I'd be the one to fall apart, not our kids. And he was right. I did fall apart, but I'm trying to put the pieces back together. And I hope you'll join me on this journey. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and I hope you'll come back and visit me again soon. As I sit here, reflecting on the past few months, I'm reminded of the countless times my husband would tell me to stay strong, to be the rock for our family. He'd say it with a smile, with a confidence that I admired, and I'd nod in agreement, trying to hide my own fears and doubts. But deep down, I knew that I was the one who was fragile, who was barely holding it together. And when he passed away, it was like the entire world had come crashing down on me. I remember the days that followed, the numbness, the emptiness, the feeling of being completely lost. I'd wake up every morning, thinking that it was all just a bad dream, that he'd walk through the door, smiling, and everything would go back to normal. But it wasn't a dream, and he didn't walk through that door. And I was left to pick up the pieces, to try and make sense of a world that no longer made sense. It's been a tough journey, but I'm trying to find my way, to learn to live with this new reality. I'm trying to be the mother my children deserve, to be the person my husband knew I could be. It's not easy. There are still days when the grief feels overwhelming, when the pain feels like it's going to consume me. But I'm trying, I'm really trying, and I'm hoping that by sharing my story, by being honest about my struggles, I can help others who may be going through something similar. I've been blown away by the support I've received from all of you, from the comments, the messages, the kindness and compassion that has been shown to me and my family. It's meant the world to us, and I'm so grateful to have this community, to have this platform to share my thoughts, my feelings, and my experiences. As I move forward, I'm not sure what the future holds, but I'm trying to stay positive, to focus on the good things, to celebrate the life of my husband, and to honor his memory. I'm trying to find ways to keep him close, to keep his spirit alive, and to make sure that our children never forget the amazing person he was. It's funny, when my husband was alive, I used to get so frustrated with him, with his messy ways, his love of sports, his ability to fall asleep anywhere, anytime. But now, I miss all of those things. I miss the way he'd make me laugh, the way he'd challenge me, the way he'd love me. And I'm trying to hold on to those memories, to cherish them, and to use them to guide me as I navigate this new chapter in my life. I know that I'll always carry a piece of him with me, that he'll always be a part of me, and that gives me the strength to keep going, to keep pushing forward, even on the tough days. And I hope that you'll continue to join me on this journey, that you'll continue to support me, and that you'll find inspiration, comfort, and hope in my story. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and thank you for being a part of my life. As I sit here, reflecting on the journey that has brought me to this moment, I am filled with a sense of gratitude and humility. I think about all the people who have supported me along the way, who have lifted me up when I was down, and who have encouraged me to keep going even when the road ahead seemed uncertain. And I think about the struggles, the setbacks, and the doubts that have tried to hold me back. But through it all, I've learned that it's not the easy days that define us, it's the hard days. It's the days when we feel like giving up, when we feel like we're not good enough, and when we feel like the universe is against us. Those are the days that test our character, that test our resolve, and that test our will to keep moving forward. I've come to realize that my story is not just about me, it's about all of us. It's about the human experience, with all its ups and downs, its triumphs and failures. It's about the struggles we face, the fears we overcome, and the hopes we hold on to. And it's about the connection that binds us together, the connection that reminds us that we're not alone, that we're all in this together. When I started sharing my story, I did it because I wanted to help others, I wanted to inspire others, and I wanted to make a difference in the world. But what I've come to realize is that I've been helped, I've been inspired, and I've been made a difference by all of you. Your stories, your messages, and your comments have touched my heart, have lifted my spirits, and have given me the courage to keep going. They've reminded me that I'm not just sharing my story, I'm sharing a part of myself, and that's a scary thing to do. But it's also a beautiful thing, because when we share ourselves, when we share our vulnerabilities, and when we share our fears, we open ourselves up to connection, to community, and to love. And that's what it's all about. That's what this journey is all about. It's not just about achieving success or reaching a destination. It's about the people we meet along the way. It's about the lessons we learn. And it's about the love we share. As I look back on my journey, I'm reminded of the power of resilience, the power of hope, and the power of the human spirit. I'm reminded that no matter what life throws our way, we always have a choice. We always have a choice to give up or to keep going. And I'm reminded that when we choose to keep going, when we choose to push forward, and when we choose to believe in ourselves, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities, a world of opportunities, and a world of beauty. So, I want to leave you with a message of hope today, a message that I hope will stay with you long after this video is over. It's a message that says, no matter what you're going through, no matter what struggles you're facing, and no matter what doubts you're feeling, you are strong enough, you are brave enough, and you are enough.